Hello, my name is Ali Major. Welcome to tonight's show. Seven Sun Entertainment is an entertainment company dedicated to providing the services needed to take your project to the next level with a certified professional ready to unleash creativity and knowledge. Seven Sun Entertainment is a trending digital media company advancing to compete in today's market. Contact Seven Sun Entertainment for all your video and audio projects. Give your dreams to the world. SevenSunEntertainment.com. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and enjoy the night show. Have a nice evening.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Gag-Order. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Tonight we are going to talk about adulting, what it means to adult, and navigating adulthood with humor and, of course, wine. We all need that one. I don't know about y'all, but me, yeah, I need that too. So first and foremost, I would like to introduce my lovely panel of ladies here. If you would each actually introduce yourselves and tell me a little bit about yourself and where we can find you on the social media. Elisha?
My name is Alicia. You can find me on all social media platforms under my name, Alicia Ali.
And Beijing?
My name's Jean Dumont, and you can find me on Facebook under my name, Jean Dumont, and on Instagram at Maiden, and on TikTok, I think it's Maiden there too.
All right. And Miss Kia?
Hey, I'm Kia. You can find me on Facebook as Kia Parker Lewis. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. And I'm Jinx. I don't do the social media too much, but Mama Bear underscore no care on Instagram if you're looking. Um, Again, back to our topic of the evening, adulting. Let's first and foremost define adulting. And I think we all know what it is, but by actual definition, it is behaving in a way of a responsible adult. It is the practice of behaving in a way that exhibits characteristics of a responsible adult. Accomplishment, mundane, necessary daily tasks, just to get through. We all know what that's like. I, I, I've been adulting since I was young, very young, and I mean, I have always done it very well. I've learned lots of things over the years, and I think in tonight's show we're gonna have fun exploring that and sharing our stories of growth and adulting, and in a nutshell, what it means to adult with humor. And they always talking about wine equals adulting and coffee equals adulting. We know there's so much more to it. So I want to start out with our biggest fails as an adult. Let's make light of it. Let's laugh at ourselves. Let's just those what are those funniest fail moments that you could think of as an adult? Meiji, you got a story to tell?
Can you come back to me? Not yet. I gotta think of something good.
All right. How about you, Bakia?
So when I get a bill in the mail and I really, really just don't want to pay it, I take it to my grandparents and just leave it on the table. That way one of them will pick it up. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm over the adulting part.
Oh wow. You are
Yeah,
blessed. You are so blessed to have that. You are so blessed to have
absolutely.
that's like a cheat. That's not even like that's a cheat code. You got grandma and grandpa for a cheat code, girl. You ain't right.
I got one grandparent for one bill, and then I got the other grandparent for like shopping and like going out to eat and just like all of the
So,
extra stuff.
so then you're not even full on adulting. That's not fair. You got too
No,
many
well,
people.
technically speaking, I give them the minor bills. It's not like I give them the big bills to pay. Like I still pay like all of the big stuff, like my BGE, my rent, and all of that. I still pay. Now my little Wi-Fi bill or something like that, I ain't worried. But they ain't worried about a couple extra dollars. So I just go ahead and give that one to them. Like I take care of the main responsibility, so that's adulting. One day I'm gonna stop taking them bills over there though.
And that's when you and I will have another conversation about adulting. Just play with you, girl. Elisha, how about you? Can you think of any funny stories or fails that you've encountered in your adulting life?
Um, Funny or failed? I think as a parent, well, mm, I think as an adult, I wasn't prepared
You weren't prepared for what?
to be a parent.
Mm, I think, yeah. I think
I think
sometimes parenting helps us to be a better adult. Other times, I think we don't become adults at all until we become parents. Other situations I've seen where you could be an adult and a parent and still not really be adulting quite right. I mean, we all fall short. We all have,
I,
you know, we all have our situations and circumstances. But as for myself, I've, I can only, I've got so many different fails and so many different funny stories. But I would have to say my number one fail that I do on a regular basis that really sets me and my whole house off. I will put everything in the crock pot before I leave for work and forget to turn that motherfucker on. So I get home from work
my
thinking
God,
I'm
that's so annoying.
straight, dinner's good, everything's straight. Man, that's when I go for the wine. You better believe it. I'm reaching. If I don't got a bottle on the top of the fridge or in the refrigerator, I'm going straight to the liquor store. That's it. You doing pizza or McDonald's. That's it. I I do that on the regular. I hate myself for it. I'd be like, fail, Jinx, fail. Go get that wine. All right, Mace Jean, let's go back to you.
Seriously, I'm not a good I'm just not a good time management person. And so, I mean, I'm pretty good as an adult unless you need me to like be somewhere at a specific time because I just don't have that capability. My ADHD gives me super bad time blindness. So my kids make fun of me because I have alarms set for the whole entire day and for nothing more than just to alert myself to the actual time because if not, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. One of the biggest arguments my ex-husband and I would get in all the time is I can't remember like dates. I totally feel bad for men on that. I don't remember our anniversary. I barely remember my birthday. So I don't know what to tell y'all. I know you. I know it's been a long time. Other than that, so some people consider that a fail. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I figure
definitely.
as long as I get everything done, what's the big deal, right?
Yeah, I mean that may be part of ADHD, but it may also be just like time management. Sometimes you need those constant reminders to help with the time management. I know a lot of
Yeah, no,
people.
I just lose track of time. I
Yeah,
literally time means nothing to me. I don't know what day it is. Like I have to alert myself to it. Otherwise I just go on living. It's
yeah,
weird, but it's what it is.
definitely. And at least you can laugh about it, and that's another part of things that we need to touch on. Like we gotta be able to use humor. So how do you personally I'll go to Miss Alicia on this one. How do you use humor to cope with challenges of adulting? And why do you think laughter is important in navigating life?
That's a very good question. So you got to repeat it one more time. How does it do what? Laughter helps me.
How do you use humor to cope with the challenges of adulting? And why do you think that laughter is important in navigating life?
I think it lightens up your spirit. How I cope with it, I watch comedies. I just like to sit and watch comedies, get out of reality for a minute, and focus on the laughter and the comedy and the how to make other people laugh, and it cheers me up after I do that. So that's how I kind of cope with that type of thing. And I think laughter really just changes your mood.
I think you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. I mean, I could be, I'm the type of person where even if it's a really shitty situation, I'm going to try and find the silver lining. And I'm also going to try and make some type of joke about something just to lighten the mood because laughter really is the best medicine. It is. I mean, besides sunshine, water, and all that good stuff. Like, you could be in the worst of moods and just somebody laughing or smiling at you could change the whole course of your day. And it really is important because life will be life, and I say that all the time. And if you let it, it's going to drag you down and make you frown. So I say just smile and grab a bottle of wine. Do y'all drink? You ladies drink? Yeah, no. Sometimes
Sometimes
a little
Sometimes
bit.
socially,
when I
socially.
go out.
I drink, like drink,
Do y'all like wine or liquor or what?
both.
Oh no, I like liquor. Wine puts me in the mood. I can't drink wine if I'm going to go out. Wine's like a dinner meal thing for me.
Yeah, for me, wine is either like I'm doing like all wine, nothing but wine, because I can't mix it with nothing else. And I gotta be like, I want that mellow chill, and I'm really picky about the type of wine too. And I'm not like no connoisseur or anything, but I know what I do and don't like. So, how about you, Miss Alicia? What you like to be sipping on?
Well, I've been drinking for a long time, so I kind of went from dark to light to tequila, and now I am
Ooh,
on coolers. Peach
oh,
Bellini Seagram's coolers.
them
Yep.
peach bellinis are good.
Yep,
Those are good.
3.2 alcohol, all I need when I go out, and I'm good. Now, if I'm in the house and I really want to get tore up, which I haven't done in a long time, I will get some tequila. And it has to be anejo.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my vodka. So I'm a Ciroc girl. Always been peach my favorite, but I like almost every flavor. That's just my thing. Always been. Um, but at one point in my life, I was drinking way too much, so I really stopped and chilled for a long time. And now I'll have a couple here and there, but there's definitely times when life be life, and then I'll be like, fuck that, I need a shot. And sometimes it's just a shot, and it's good, and I'm good, and carry on. It's just enough to take that edge off and help me refocus on adulting, because that never stops. You got to do it all day long, every day, no matter what, and especially when you're a parent. There's barely any downtime ever. You got to think about every the every aspect of each life involved. Like, it's not just me worrying about me; it's worried about my life, this one's life, that one's life. Did this one eat? Did that one brush their teeth? Did this one wipe their ass properly? Like, it's adulting is whew, been kicking my butt for a long time. So I would like to
Well, like I
ask,
tell my kids, life is not kind.
life is what?
I said, like I tell the kids all the time, life is not kind to anyone. So you just got to make the best of it and keep it pushing.
That's a fact. Um, I would like to ask Miss Najine if she could please share a story about a time in your life when you felt like you had adulting nailed. Like, I got this. Like, whether it was like when you first got your first place, or when you got a real good job, or whatever circumstance that may have made you first feel in your life like, yo, I got this adulting down pat.
Um, I mean, I think maybe when I first started, I never feel like I have adulting down pat. Let's just be clear. I really feel a lot of times like a 17-year-old trapped inside a 48-year-old's body. But it is what it is, and we all got to function. You just do your best, right? But when I first, like in the 90s, when I had first become a nurse, and, back then we were making extremely good money for the economy. And I was with a guy who actually, my parents were very strict. I led a very controlled life. And this guy actually had helped me to be more independent and do things like, fly by myself for the first time, do all this stuff. And I was making like super good money. And so I was like, this is it. I mean, I was anywhere I could get a ticket to, I was good. I was doing everything I could possibly do. Like, I was doing the extreme most because we had so much money to do it. Like, I had at the time I had my daughter Monet, and we had a glass top table, and I had gotten a map of New England, and from AAA at the time, and we would just pick places and then go to AAA and get all the brochures and like go do everything in the town and then mark it on the map. Like, it's just it was a nice time because for the amount of income I had, the economy was really supporting it. So I was allowed to do all these things that I had never had an opportunity to do. So that was a great time for me. And I felt very self confident because all these things that everybody spent all my life telling me that I was too stupid or dumb or couldn't do, I was doing it all myself and it was fine. Like, I was great. I was having no problems. So it gives you a different perspective. A lot of times when people want to control you, they have to beat you down enough to maintain that control, unfortunately. And they do that by making you feel like you're incompetent. So never nice, but it is what it is.
I get that. I get that. Totally relate. I think myself, I thought I thought I had that adulting thing nailed when I was 17 years old, had my own 3-bedroom house, my own car, paying my own bills. I really thought I had that adulting thing down. But to be 100% honest, it wasn't until I was in my 30s and I stopped selling drugs and I stopped being in the streets and I was actually working and not selling drugs and managing to pay all my bills with just my working income. And it hurt and it really was a struggle in the beginning, but that's when I was like, yo, this is what adulting really is. Like, I'm grown. Like, I'm not out there. I'm working hard for my money and I'm taking care of home by myself. I'm grown. And that was like one of the proudest. That was like my third or fourth paycheck. And I was so happy. I felt the best I think I felt. That's one of the best feelings in my whole life. Definitely top 10. How about you, Alicia?
Um, I think I think adulting just sucks, to be honest with you. I don't like it at all, but we got to go through it every day. Um, I think the only I agree with you when you have your own place and you really thinking you got everything down pat, you really think you have it done, but reality is just it's like a constant thing. You got to keep positive and then you got to keep building, you got to keep making money. So it's like it's a never-ending battle. It's a never end battle. That's how I see it.
I agree. It's an everyday. You got to learn how to navigate each and every obstacle that's thrown at you. And sometimes them same obstacles is coming at you day after day after day, but you got to handle them in different ways because it may not always hit the same. It may not always you may not always be in the same place to be able to battle it. So it's a daily struggle of navigating everything. Miss Kia, when was the first time you felt like, yeah, I got this adulting thing down?
When I moved out my grandparents' house, like when I first moved out, like this is my first apartment. Like I've never lived nowhere else for real outside of my grandparents now. Like so for me to even still have this, like that's like a huge, oh, I'm doing it, I did it, I told you I could do it type of moment for me. So I don't know. But I know that this isn't like forever. 'Cause I hate it over here. This is just something to start with. Like it's just a starting point. Gotta go. Don't like it here.
Aw, you not happy with that, please? Is it the environment around outside or the every like what is it?
Baby, it's just about everything over here. Like you call, you complain about something being messed up or broken, and then they say that they coming to fix it, and then they never come. Like literally for what, 2 months, just about 2 months. I couldn't do it no more. After the second month, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna go to the store and buy the lock. Like I wanted to buy a brand new lock for my back door because my back door was broke, and I kept on calling, telling them like, "Yo, my back door is broke. I need somebody to come fix it." They said, "Okay, we're gonna send somebody over there to fix it." Nobody would come. So what was I doing? Pushing my couch in front of my back door like the whole time, just waiting to see how long it would take for them to come. So like once we got to the 2 months, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna just go buy the lock and change it myself because I can't handle this. And now, like, I have cabinets and stuff that's just like starting to fall apart because the wood is so old, and like they gotta do something. So I'm just like, okay, I'm not replacing no cabinets. I know I can do it, but I ain't gonna do it though. Like, I'm not responsible for this stuff. So I'm just like, I want out.
Yeah, that's a whole another realm of adulting. Just the place you live in, wherever you reside, like that in itself, whether you renting, whether you own, you gotta deal with every little thing in your house. If you're the only adult in your house, you legit gotta handle everything. And it's difficult. Like I'm like a handy type person. I can handle just about anything that go on around the house. I can do it myself. Most of the time I don't even call the landlord, I'll just do it. Ain't no worries, whatever. It is what it is. But certain things I'll be like, I don't want to handle this. I'm not trying to do this. I used to want to be I wanted to have numerous homes, numerous houses, but then I stopped and thought about it. I'm like, no, because I literally have to maintain every single one of those houses, and I'm not trying to do all that. So now I'm in a place where I'm like, I'm trying to do the least amount of work in my home to keep it the way I want it, without having to come out my pocket. Like, so forever, I'm not even going to buy another house. Nope, I'm going straight. I'm going straight to a little condo somewhere and let somebody else take care of everything that needs to be taken care of. I ain't with it. Uh-uh.
I learned everything off of TikTok. Like when something mess up in my house, baby, first thing I'm doing is going to TikTok or YouTube because I learned everything on there. Like it's just it's I don't know, it's too much. But like I know how to do it. What was that? Oh, I can't say.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you know how to do certain things, but there's ways to maneuver within adulting, and it's what would you think if somebody asked you what is your understanding of adulting and the ways to maneuver as an adult, what would your response be?
I don't know yet. Can you come back to me for that one? I really don't know how to put it in words.
Okay, how
Like
about you, Eugene?
I think it's your ability to prioritize, right? So
Absolutely.
when you become an adult, what changes is you have to be able to prioritize what you spend your money on, what you spend your time on, um, how you delegate the different things in your household. So to me, that's what it would be, finding all your priorities and where they need to line up. Because you're still going to do all your same things, right? Like you said, you like to drink, so you're still going to have a drink now and then. I like to dress up and go out. I'm going to find a way to dress up and go out. Like, we're always going to do the things that make us happy. It's just a matter of making sure that everything on the back end is taken care of first.
I agree. Definitely. I think that prioritizing is a never ending battle as well. That's just, one more aspect of it where you gotta constantly weigh your options and do what you think is the next best thing while handling everything else.
Right. And you want to minimize your damage control as an adult, right?
Absolutely.
So when you're young and you're impulsive, you're more likely to do things that you know are going to cause you more harm in the end. You know, like go out till 3 a.m. even when you have to work at 7 a.m. or start fighting people or any of the things that you do as an impulsive younger person. As we age, you say to yourself, boy, do I really want, the legal, the emotional, the physical, the mental? Am I looking to have to also deal with all of those other ramifications just to do this one thing, regardless of what it is? And sometimes maybe you think it is, but 80% of the time, if you have your priorities in place, you're not going to. So,
I agree. I definitely agree.
Okay, so real quick, I really did.
I apologize, Miss Kia. We gonna hold that thought for the next segment. We are actually going to do our random question. And tonight, our question comes from the news and media category. And I would like to know, ladies, if you could be a journalist reporting on any major event, past or present, what would you choose to cover and why? And I will go
I can go
to.
first because
Oh,
I already
she
know.
knows. All right, go ahead, girl.
I would want to cover the 1945 ticker tape parade after the Japanese surrendered to MacArthur and all of the soldiers came home.
Wow. Wow.
And why? Because it was such a pivotal time in our nation as far as nationalism goes, as far as the women's movement goes, women entering the workforce, then also all the heroes coming home. It was such a pivotal time in our nation.
That's deep. That's deep, deep. That's I respect that wholeheartedly. That's a beautiful thought and gesture. Absolutely. Kia, since our producer cut you off of what you were saying, I promise we're gonna get right back to that as soon as we're done with this. But I want you to go ahead and answer this question for us.
So like I'm a big fan of Hidden Figures, the movie. And like I really feel like I would do a story about technology and like the first women to actually work in NASA and stuff like that. So
Okay, okay. What about you, Miss
That was a
Alicia?
great movie.
That is a very tough one since I'm not from here, really. So, from the history classes that I've been through and anything like that, I would really like to go back when it was slavery and really find out why. I mean, I don't know. It's just I can't understand racism to the life of me. I don't understand it. I hate it. I would really like to go back in that time and have an interview with someone and figure it out, because sometimes words get twisted from one person and then it goes to another and it goes to another. So then it's so hard to kind of cipher what really happened in the past. You know what I mean? So I would love to go back in that time and have an interview with someone and ask about that.
That's that's nice. That's nice. It's there's so many. I see myself. I can't even. I know it's probably going to sound off, but like I will go back to when Columbus landed in in America, because I would like to interview all of the natives that was here to greet him when he got here. And I would like for that story to be told so that we could have a different perspective within history. Definitely. Um, so, as you all know, our random section is a different category week by week, and sometimes we're gonna touch on something funny and silly. Sometimes we're gonna touch on something serious, and this is like I would just like to say how incredibly proud I am of our panel, because like if you ask that same question to another group of females, you probably gonna hear some offy, weirdo like celebrity stuff. And oh, when I wanna interview Rihanna when Chris Brown hit her, and like that's the type of stuff people will be talking about, like a major event. Like, no, that's not what we talking about. We talking about some real life historic events that have transpired, and each of us had a really deep answer. And I just want to say that I wholeheartedly respect that and love that about our crew, for sure. Now, back to Miss Kia. What was you saying before you got cut off by randoms?
Um. Oh, so I didn't realize that there was so many different ways to look at the term adulting. So like I literally just had to sit back and watch and listen to everything that y'all was saying, because I thought that I had it all figured out and I actually was adulting, but obviously I'm still on like the kiddie phase of it because it's just me. So like I don't know, like I work for what I want, what I need, and that's basically it. So I thought that because that was all I required and like, need to take care of me, that was adulting. So I don't know.
No, no, no. I mean, you doing good. You doing good. As time goes by and more responsibilities and more bills pile up in your life, you will learn to cherish and treasure the moments and the people that you had that was helpful for you.
Jinx, I think you just made my heart palpitate. Why would you wish more bills upon me? What is wrong with it? Why
I
would you?
listen, because
I,
you like to do
because
things for
that's
It's
how
yourself. So
I am.
them bills
it's
is
going
coming,
to
baby.
happen.
They
It's going
coming,
to
baby.
happen. It's
Listen,
going
the
to
way my
happen.
heart just started pounding, I swear it was like coming out my chest just now. I'm like, wait, why?
I'm
No,
so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's all about balance, though. It's balance, like you said. Like you make the money to take care of what you want and need, and like it's important to find that balance within our day to day adulting life and doing things for ourselves, whether it be, you know, we keep on talking. I keep on talking about the wine, but that's just because they correlate adulting with wine for whatever reason, and
well, they
I
should put tequila next to it for me because
I
I'm as a
mean,
tequila whiskey drinking somebody when it get hard.
but at the same time, like it's gotta be like. moderation and responsible. Like you gotta, because otherwise, then that's gonna affect your life and your priorities. So you gotta definitely make sure that you keep that balance. It's important to make sure that you're always taking care of priorities first and having your fun secondary. But then there's also them times when you like, I gotta take some time for me. I gotta do for me. Bump this. I'll worry about that later. Like, let me do this for me. So, I want to know how you ladies find that balance between your responsibilities and just fun and self care. What do you do? How do you find that balance? Kia, why don't you go with that one?
So like I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So my self-care is really me in the kitchen. Like it doesn't really require a lot. Like I figure out what I want to experiment with, and then like something starts to happen where I'm like, "Oh my goodness." Like you just got to calm down. Like go figure it out. Like go sit down and clear your head, and I go straight to my kitchen. I open up every cabinet in my kitchen, and then I just go from there. So it's like whatever I lay eyes on and want to match and start messing with, that's my safe spot. That's how I balance everything out. So like if if I know I got 3 bills coming up and it's all around the same week, and like I know my pay is going to be this certain amount, and I'm like, okay, so which one do I have to pay first, and make sure that I'm straight on that. And then like I'll go in the kitchen and like by the time I'm finished cooking, I'd have made a decision on which bill is the most important and which one can wait, and which one
Yeah,
I'd be like, okay, maybe I do need to borrow a couple dollars for this one, but I got them when it come back. Like, you know what I mean? So I spend so much time in my kitchen. It's ridiculous.
I mean that's a good thing. At least we know you eating good.
Oh yeah, don't miss
Hmm.
no meals.
How about you, Meijin? How do you find that balance?
I like to play it fast and loose and see how. I don't. I like to play it fast and loose and see how it all shakes out. So I'm a bad person to ask about stuff like this. I can be. I like to do what I want to do. I spent a lot of years being, controlled and doing different things for people. And so in my adult life, if I see something I want to do, I do it. And then I just figure out what I need to do it. I like to be free, super big on personal freedom. I like to be able to change my mind or just do whatever I want to do. So that's how I try to set my life up. I work as much as I can all the time so I don't have to worry. If I feel like being impulsive, I just do it. I like doing different things. I like trying different things. Like I say all the time, I'll try it once. If I don't like it, maybe twice, But you don't know until you try things. And I feel like a lot of times, especially as women, we get locked into these roles that we feel like we have to play. And we don't do things that we want to do just because we don't feel like we either deserve it or have the time or are capable or able. And I think that's a terrible thing for us. I feel like we need to have that self confidence to do the things that we want to, regardless of whether or not we have someone else who thinks it's okay as well. So
Yes, yes, yes. I agree. Alicia, how about you? How do you find that balance?
Um, well, my last son is the one that gives keeps me balance. I think without him, that's my balance right there. I mean, you got to get up, you got to go, and you got to make money, and you got to survive. That's basically it for me.
But how do you what do you do for your fun time, your self care, your
Um, I
balance
don't get that.
between constant responsibilities and life enjoyment? What do you do for life enjoyment?
Well, I crochet off and on. I haven't been doing that. Um, I'll get my nails and feet done. That's about it. Far as self care, I'm still learning on those things because I'm on a different path right now. So sometimes these questions that you're asking me is kind of like a little difficult to answer because I don't really get to do those things, and it's that process is a little tougher for me to answer that question. So
Okay.
for my self care, I'm still learning on what self care is for me because I've been helping other people so long, and I'm the oldest of 10, so the responsibilities on me been very heavy. So in
Mm,
order for me to get self care, I never had it like that. So when I do get my nails and feet done, it's like, yay, I got something, out of the whole thing. But my
yeah,
priority with being a parent, I have to make sure, and so it's a never ending thing. So it's kind of hard to have a self care when I'm going through that process.
absolutely. I agree. I've been in the same place where I was, you know, I didn't know how to even begin to take care of myself. I didn't have my selfish, guilty pleasures or my self care rituals that I would do. But I learned over time that, you know, if you're constantly being the responsible one, you're constantly the one in charge of everything and everybody, you get burnt out mentally, physically, emotionally, and eventually it may even affect your spirituality, which we'll get to in a little bit. But
Which is all part of adulting.
exactly, exactly.
Well, if you
Making
don't make yourself a priority, who's going to?
absolutely, you're right.
Right, Alicia? If you don't make yourself a priority, who's going to?
You said what? Hey, Jean, what'd you
People will
say?
run you into the ground. You have to.
You
I
have to
said, if
prioritize
you do
yourself.
not make yourself a priority, who else is going to? If
I
you
get
can't,
that,
if you
but
are sick,
that's
if you
I
are
get
mentally
that, but
not in
that's
a good place, then you can't give to other people. Right, but that's part of healing, right? And I went through the same thing because I came from I was the oldest. I raised my mother's children. I was never allowed to do anything unless my parents absolutely 1000% agreed to it, even into my 20s. So what I'm saying to you is, at some point, you have to prioritize yourself and realize that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So it's great to do all these things to be responsible and for us to adult, but if you're half dead, you're not really doing it. So
Wholeheartedly agree with everything she just said. It's hard though. It really is hard to change your habits and your way of thinking and your way of, you know, doing things if you're so accustomed to doing things a certain way. It's definitely hard to change those habits. But even the smallest
it's
thing,
self
whether it's
abuse.
a cup of coffee in a corner of a room all by yourself every day, just something small, the tiniest things. I know when I first started taking care of myself, it was I had a ritual of just like you. I would go and get my toes done. Like I got my toes done every 2 weeks, and that was my thing. That's how I took care of myself. Leave me alone. This is mommy's time. I'm going to get my toes done. Don't nobody bother me. And over time, I realized like, okay, that's just one little thing for like self-care maintenance. Like I need to also do other things. So I became a little bit more like Najin. Like when I see something I want to do, all right, now I'm gonna make sure that happens. I'm gonna map it out. I'm gonna make it happen because that's something I want to do. And I became like that. And life changes, life circumstances change, finances change, relationships change, everything change. And sometimes we get back into that habit of forgetting ourselves because we're so busy adulting and we're so busy micromanaging everybody else's life. And I found that even like I said, the smallest things, whether it's taking a few minutes to yourself just to enjoy your cup of tea or coffee with unbothered, with nobody messing with you, like that in itself, like prayer time, whatever you may be into, whatever it is, everybody
I just want to
has
say one thing,
something they
Anita.
enjoy doing to bring themselves joy.
It's not only that, but it's a form of self abuse, right? So when you grow up in a situation where you're abused by people, it is normal for you to feel that abuse. So you learn how to abuse yourself because you have been taught that you do not deserve it. So when you deny yourself things like rest and happiness and whatever little things make you, reading the book, whatever makes you happy, you're actually abusing yourself and perpetuating the abuse that you sustained as a child. Because again, if you are not in a good place, you cannot do the things that you have to do. That's why going to work hungover doesn't work, right? So again, at that point, when you're an adult, when you get locked into and a lot of people do it, either you're miserable in your relationship, you don't like your home. So we lock ourselves into these patterns and you're like, oh, no, 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 I got to work. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to blah, blah, blah. But it's real. You really don't. People have time for what they make time for. Like people talk about me all the time, but I don't watch TV. So when I post or I'm out doing things, those 2 hours that you're binge watching TV, I'm on a hike. I go to the store. I do this. I do that. So my life presents very differently to people because of the way I structure and organize it. So I understand that people have to work and have responsibilities, but you still have to take that time to make sure that you structure and organize your life in a way that you can also have happiness and rest and peace and spiritual and emotional fulfillment. Because if you can't, like I said, at some point you're either going to become physically ill or extremely mentally ill. And you're perpetuating abuse cycles. So none of it's good.
She is 100% right, Meijing. I couldn't have said it better myself. You are absolutely correct. Everybody has to find something that brings them joy. If nobody else does that thing or shows you that thing or brings you that thing, you've got to be able to do it for yourself no matter what. So, real quick, I want to know, Kia, what do you do for your fun and self care? What do you like to do? Sound mama.
I go down by the water and listen to music. Starbucks is my addiction, so I'm always there. When something happens and something goes wrong and I need that pick me up, I'm at Starbucks. Walk in, they already have my drink ready some days, especially if they see my car. So then I go straight to the water.
I'm the same, babies. I'm a water baby. I gotta be by the water. Every water is my peace. Whenever I need to feel grounded, whenever I need peace, whenever I need joy, I go straight to the water. Absolutely. I can't mess
And
with no Starbucks though. They just too bougie for me. Give me my Dunkin'. I'll be good.
look, and then when my car is messing up and I can't use my car, I go out back to my pond because I got turtles and a frog and some feeder fish out there. So
There
I
you
go right
go.
out back.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So we are about to get into our PMS check-ins. I implore everybody to use this simple system. It is not just for women. Yes, it may sound like it is, but it's not. And I assure you that if you take the time, even just once in a while, it may really have a positive effect on your life. So we were doing PMS check-ins, PMSE check-ins, a little bit differently earlier shows, but now we are going to just quickly let each other know what is going on with our physical, mental, and spiritual so that we can better understand and control our emotions. And I am going to ask Miss Kia to go first. How you feeling physically today?
Physically, I'm tired. Mentally, I'm here, like just here. And then spiritually, I feel good,
Okay, okay.
peaceful.
How about you, Meijing? How you doing today?
I'm tired. I worked both jobs all week last week, so It was a rough week for me. Um, Mentally, I'm checked out. I'm ready for bed. Spiritually, I'm good. Like I said, I have a good spiritual life, so I'm always happy there.
Okay. And how about you, Miss Alicia?
Physically, I'm okay. Mentally, I'm all right. And what's the last one? Spiritually, I'm all right. I'm all right.
All right. So you all right on all accounts? All right. I don't know if I believe you, but I'll take them answers. Me myself, physically, I am exhausted. Exhausted. Been working on a big job all week, all weekend. Is going into this week now, and mentally, I am done with it. The the job itself, like even though I'm not there no more, I left it behind. I'm an hour away from the site. I still am just like too many things in my mind. It won't stop. So I'm trying real hard to stop it. Um, but I know it's going to be tedious. So it's weighing on me heavy. Um, Spiritually, I am so hopeful on many different accounts. For people in my life, for this job I'm working on right now, um, for this group of lovely ladies that I'm working with every Tuesday. Love this, love this. I'm just very hopeful, very hopeful. And in the past, we had kind of compared it to the prior day, but I think today alone, just today, is good enough. And just the fact that we can recognize how we feeling, what we thinking, and where we're at within our soul and our spirit, I think it has so much effect on how we behave, on how we speak, how we interact with others, how we interact with ourselves. Personal awareness is so important, and that is one more thing that within adulting we must do. We must prioritize our self awareness right along with our self care. Because if we sitting here taking care of ourselves, but we're not aware of ourselves, how can we actually be healthy and productive people? We gotta check ourselves. So again, PMS check-ins is not just for us ladies. Men, I implore you to try it as well. And at this time, I believe it is about to be sound off. So, ladies, I want to know, is there anything that is weighing on you? Anything within this show that we didn't touch on? Any something that you wanted to say and somehow we got talked over? Please share. No? Yeah? You know?
Well, I just want to say that, like I said, I really hope that if nothing else, people stop to take the time to think about themselves a little bit. And not in a selfish way, but in a self care way. You have to make sure that you are good before you can make other people. And you have to love yourself before anyone else can love you. And I think that a lot of times when we're either abused or, have been in different situations, we look for our validation externally instead of internally. And I think that that becomes a very negative thing for people, because the problem with that is another person can change how they think or feel about it at any time, or tell you whatever they want if they want to manipulate the situation. And usually, if you're abused or have these other issues, you're not picking great partners to begin with. So it just opens you up to be very vulnerable and perpetuate that abuse cycle. So, if nothing else, like my favorite commercial ever from the Church of Latter day Saints, believe it or not, as we teach people to love the world, we have to teach them to love themselves. And that is on all accounts, physically, mentally, We have to be as kind to ourselves as we are other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. Definitely. There's nothing, no, you are going to be stuck with you for the rest of your life. People will come and go. You are the only body and the only mind and the only spirit that you are connected to for the rest of your life. And if you not taking care of you, then who's going to? Even if you have somebody that's willing to,
No,
you don't know for how long and to what degree. Nobody knows what you need better than you. Nobody can serve you and make
what if
you
they
happy
die?
more than you. I mean, I've been there. I've seen that. It's
Things happen every day. The lady who did our kids' pictures, she was with her husband since they were kids. They had a great life, like a fairy tale life. He died at 48 years old. Nothing is promised if you have to be there for yourself. You have to show
absolutely.
up for yourself.
And another quick aspect of this that I definitely wanted to touch on is as adults, what advice would you give to your children? Just like a simple snippet of advice about adulting that you would tell your children so that they could, maybe get a little bit of a jump on it. What advice would you give to your child, Alicia, about successfully adulting?
Uh, if you have any traumas, this is a very big thing. I always tell my children that whatever you're holding on to, I think you have to let it go and try your best to heal from it because that controls every aspect of your human being in your system of yourself. And I always tell my kids, you control your own destiny and how you want to control your life. I could give it, but I can't take that advice. So I give it to them. So I've been trying to do that. So that's part of adulting, you know? You got to do that.
I agree. Kia, how about you? What advice would you give children about successfully adulting?
Um, I feel like when it comes to that, I don't know. I think I stick with the financial part of it, like being financially responsible and be able to prioritize your like what is it called, financial literacy or something. Like being able
That's
to
a class to be taught.
yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have an answer for that one. When I have a kid and have to go through that conversation, can we talk about it then? Because I really don't
Definitely.
know.
All good, no worries. How about you, Meiji?
I tell my children all the time work smarter, not harder. You have to put yourself in a position where your life is easier, not more difficult. And sometimes that means doing things that maybe you wouldn't want to do at first to put yourself in a better position. But it's never good to be stuck, and it's never good to not try new things. So, again, like I tell them, work smarter, not harder.
That's really great advice. I actually say that to my coworkers and other employees on a semi-regular basis. Whenever we working on a job, I'm like, no, no, no. Try this. Work smarter, not harder, always. But me myself, I think I would just tell my children to love themselves more. Love themselves first. Love themselves more. Definitely. So, with that being said, we are reaching the end of the show, ladies. I thank you so very, very much for joining me. It was a great show. I enjoyed everybody's input and stories. And next week we have got a very interesting show. And the title of our show would be Unfiltered, which is embracing imperfection in a filtered world. So you can already imagine what we're going to touch on next week. Um, I wish you all the very best evening, the very best week. I thank all my viewers. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Please, again, feel free to like, comment, share, all that good stuff. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you. See y'all.